What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into the Saturday morning edition of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Peralt here on BettingPros.com. We're always being brought to you by BetMGM, and I am straight from the restaurant with my family here. So this is a later than normally taped podcast, and, I'm going to get through the picks here as quickly as I can. I'm not going to spend a ton of time here with this because it's really late at night, and I want to get these picks and plays out to you guys and talk about a couple things quickly before we get to the picks and plays. So let's recap where we were last night. A 3-3 night on a Friday. This, for the first time in weeks, the player props burned us. Ben Simmons burned us. So we went 2-0 in hockey. Got both overs right in both games that we bet, which was beautiful. Sabres and the Capitals and the Golden Knights and the Arizona Coyotes. Both those were laughers. Then we got the win in baseball right, which was nice. We got that right. And then with the Braves and their victory. So we were looking good, 3-0 in those plays. The Knicks let us down in the first half, so that kind of stunk. But, whatever. That's fine. That's one loss. It would have been a 3-1 night. But instead, I added the player props, and this is why betting half units on the player props, I've talked about this, the regression is coming, all right? So I'm going to tell you this right now. If we go 0-2 again tonight, I'm going back to quarter units. I knew the regression would hit. It always worries me when I'm doing something and I'm plugging along and we're going well and we're hitting. We've gone 1 for our last 4 with player props, okay? Not good. And so I'm not going to give back everything we have earned because let me look at the record here so far for the NBA player props, which I gave out yesterday. Ben Simmons assists and Ben Simmons scoring over 14.5 points. Ben Simmons got 10 points and 6 assists. So I don't know what that game was wild. That game, the Pelicans play defense, but Philadelphia is a weird team, man. They're an odd duck. That game should have been really high scoring. The tempo was strange. I don't get really the strategy of what Doc Rivers was doing. Like, you have to play up tempo with that team. You can't go and sort of grind it out. They got burned. But so on the NBA player props, we are now 29-10. Okay, 29-10, and we just lost a full unit. So now we're up 4.27 units on NBA player props. So that's not good. Our NHL mark is still really good now. We're 67-48 on our NHL bets, which puts us in the 60% range. So hockey's been great, 60%. Our overall NBA has been okay. We're now 22-19 on our NBA bets, so it's okay. But we gave back a unit there on our NBA player props, won a unit on NHL. Pretty much a flat day minus the juice, so not really that bad of a loss day, but 3-3. Not great. The player props, if the player props were quarter units, we would have won money last night. So, again, I'm going to come in here. I will have player props coming up today for Saturday in the Discord channel. The link is below me here on YouTube. Go to bettingpros.com. Go to YouTube, search Betting Pros, and you'll find the link on our Daily Juice YouTube stream every night, videos every night. And you can get in if you're not in. We're approaching 6,000 users there, so we've had a really good run, and I love all the new users. I love all the new interactions. It's been really, really fun to see the community grow thanks to this run that I'm on, 29-10 here, which is still, I'm not going to shake a stick at it, but if we go 0-2 today, if I lose again, I'm going to go back to quarter units because, like I mentioned, we got here by betting quarter units, and the regression was coming, all right? It was... It was bound to happen. I've been teasing it for a while saying, guys, it's going to happen. We're going to cool off. We're not going to be on a hitter like this. We're not going to hit 8 out of every 10 bets on our NBA player props. And look, here we are, right? We go 1-1, 0-2. Not great. So that's what we're looking for here today in the Discord channel for 2 bets for the NBA player props. I do have 3 other bets that I want to give to you here for today. So let's start with golf. Dustin Johnson did not make the cut. That's a loser. Half a unit. Not good. Patrick Cantlay did not make the cut. That's a loser. Not good. John Rahm did make the cut at even money. That's good. Justin Thomas is in the conversation for not just a top 10, but also to win the tournament. He's outside. He's looking up. He's tied for 5th. But those 2 guys are live for the weekend. So because of that, I'm going to dabble a little bit here. Justin Thomas still might win this thing, But I'm going to come back with a head-to-head, and I have stunk at this, okay? I want to have a little extra action on Saturday. I want to watch this because if things go well, we know that on Sunday we'll watch John Rahm and Justin Thomas both go after it, trying to get into the top 10, and then JT trying to win the thing. I want to come back with just one more bet here, and I may go over and lose 3 units on the Masters. Golf betting is extremely difficult. It is feast or famine. It's home runs or it's nothing, but it's the Masters, and I'm okay with if we give a little back here. I'm all right if we end up losing a little bit here, at least personally. You don't have to fade. You can fade this if you want. You can go opposite if you want, but I will have one head-to-head. It's Will Zalatoris taking on Brian Harman. Head-to-head, round 3 only. The Westgate Super Contest, I always call the Westgate Super Contest. The Westgate Sportsbook here in Vegas has this as Will Z minus 120 against Brian Harman. So far on the PGA Tour, Will Zalatoris has been extremely good in the 3rd round, and he's been playing extremely well so far here in this on this golf course in this tournament. So he is 4th in the PGA in scoring average, tee to green. He's a dude who knows how to play well on moving day on Saturday, top 30 on the PGA Tour. Brian Harman is a relatively unknown golfer who has played very, very well. He's a lefty, okay? But now we move to the weekend, and now the intensity and the pressure starts to grow and the eyeballs get on you. Will Z has been waiting for this. He's young. He's extremely talented. This is his first ever Masters. I'm not saying this dude's going to win it, but he had 5 birdies in the back 9 on Friday. He's going to share for second place. I got him 3rd round, minus 120. I think Brian Harman's going to fall off the pace here, and I think Will Z will keep pace. I don't think he's going to shoot, a low 60s score here, but we're going to go a half a unit. Will Z over Brian Harman, head-to-head, round 3, minus 120 for the Masters here today on a Saturday. Again, I've not been very good with this, but we love Will Z. We've been on Will, and a listener of mine to my radio show sent me a DM, and he was like, why aren't you on Will Z? Look what he's doing. This is the one tournament we're not on Will Z. Why aren't we on Zalatoris? And now, okay, he's right. We should get on Zalatoris. So we're getting on Will Z here for the 3rd round against Brian Harman. We're going him to win head-to-head against Brian Harman, round number 3, minus 120 for Will Z. Find that head-to-head if you can. I had it at the Westgate here in Vegas. Number 2 play. The White Sox are 6-0 over their last 6 games against a left-handed starter. All right? They're 17-4 in their last 21 home games overall. The year is still very young, but this Royals team can score, okay? And maybe this is a bounce-back spot for them here, but I'm not going to overthink this when it comes to a left-handed starter. Minus 139 at Circus Sports here in Vegas is where the White Sox are against the Royals. They just feast on left-handed pitching, and they hit left-handed pitching extremely well. This is a high-potent lineup for the White Sox here with the divisional rival coming in at home. I think this is another victory here for the Chicago White Sox, who are starting to play a little bit better. They're 4-4 now. They won 6-0 in the first matchup here, and now they're going back after it again here today. Left-handed starter, we're going with the Chicago White Sox with a victory over the KC Royals. Mike Minor's not bad. ERA over 6, though, in his first start. 6 innings, 4 hits, 6 Ks. But I'm going to see a pretty nice lineup here for the White Sox, winning 6-0 in the first lineup. We're just going money line. White Sox to win, minus 139 against the Royals here in a left-handed pitching to win the second game of that series. And then we've got one play in the NHL. So last night, the Minnesota Wild got beat 9-1 against the St. Louis Blues. In the first game in late March, the Wild won the game 2-0. This is the 3rd game that these teams will play, and it's a back-to-back. When you get beat like that, when you get embarrassed like that, I tend to look at how does a good team who's 24-13-2, how do they respond? So I totally understand that St. Louis is starting to play much better. They beat the Vegas Golden Knights 3-1, and then they win 9-1. They snap out of their losing streak. They snap out of what they've done, and they come flying out. The Wild, I think they respond here. I would be very surprised if the Wild come out flat, because what you do know, and I think everyone knows this, the tongue lashing that's coming to the Wild team after losing like this is going to be significant. This is an embarrassing loss. It's a good team getting beat badly. I think the Wild at minus 112, I think there's some real value here. They're the better team. Now, St. Louis had to break that awful streak, and they had to get right. They lost 7 straight games before they finally beat the Golden Knights, and they won back-to-back games. I just think this is, after you lose 9-1, I think this is, you go back and you look yourself in the mirror if you're the Wild, and you're like, okay, no, we're not going to get beat like this again in the very next night on a back-to-back. So they won the first game 2-0. They lost the second game 9-1. I'm coming back with the Wild on the money line to win against St. Louis here tonight. They're too good of a team to get beat like that, to get embarrassed like that, and lose again on back-to-back nights. I expect a passionate Wild team to come out pissed off and fired up to beat the St. Louis Blues here coming up tonight for a half a unit. So we will have 2 player props in the NBA, again for a half a unit, but if we don't go 2-0, okay, if we lose money, 1-1's not good enough. We got to go 2-0 tonight, okay? If we don't go 2-0 tonight on the NBA player props, I will go back to betting half a units. I told you I'd do it for a week and then I kind of see where I was going to be. I don't like where I am tonight. We lost money yesterday. We've lost money today. Don't like that one bit. So if I lose money again for a third straight day by betting half units, we will switch to quarter units. But still for tonight, half unit bets going on the player props. And I may add a bet. I have a half a unit hanging out there. So I may add another bet during the day on the Discord channel. I may have another hockey bet, or I may have another baseball bet. Maybe NBA as well. I don't know. Something may grab my attention during the day, and we may jump on it as well to kind of wrap up the half a unit, kind of round it out. But 3-3 last night. Let's get some winners here to recap our plays coming up for today on a Saturday. Will Zalatoris over Brian Harman in a head-to-head at minus 120. The White Sox on the money line at minus 139. And the Wild on the money line against the Blues at minus 112 are our 3 plays, plus the player props and maybe an ad in the Discord channel coming up later on today. My name is Matt Peralta. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. Every morning, it's the Daily Juice podcast right here on BettingPros.com, brought to you by BetMGM.